Well, hey everybody, guess what? It's Tuesday at 6 p.m. We're on time. We're doing things. We're going to talk about stuff. Yeah, and you guys can help guide what we talk about. I'm just saying. That's what we do. We have conversations based on, the things that we've had gone on in the past week or things we're thinking about doing this week or next month or something like that. Anyhow, I'm rambling. We're going to do the quick commercial thing and we will be right back. So bear with us and we're going to do that thing. Let's see. That one.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
So we started looking for a way to save money on fuel. And we were turned on to the ES Advantage program for fuel first. And so we got a hold of Jeff Reese and he ran us through that program. And man, we were starting to save. And then we started talking to them. Well, we saw their website and we said, Jeff, what's this thing about insurance and accounting and
Right.
You lease trucks? What?
Right, and that's the thing is we only knew it as a fuel card, and when we started digging deeper, I mean, we ended up getting hooked up with an insurance provider, Seabright Agency, and they created an entire insurance program just for us and our people. And from that, we've learned that now there's even more potential. There's a greater opportunity, and it's completely opened up our eyes and broadened our vision into what it is we're trying to do, which is help people do better. Wrapped with the ES community, just makes that process so much easier.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Right, yeah.
Amen.
What are you doing, buddy?
Sitting.
Oh, that's hot, bro. That's hot. Are you like on? No, you're in the truck. I was just like, well, maybe you were in a stall and just hanging out. I do some great thinking in the commode, man. I'm just saying, but I think there's some genius there. I wonder if it's just the free nature of not having pants on that makes me so smart all of a sudden.
Maybe.
You know what I think? Maybe I should just walk around without pants and I could be smart all the time. Huh?
I think the cost is too high on that one
Oh,
for the rest of the world.
I don't. Done with you. God, we just got started and I'm done with you. Good Lord, man.
No, I'm not in a stall, Charlie. I'm in my custom Western Star. You know that.
Ah.
Let's get that out of the way right now.
I'm better now. I feel good. So Craig, let's see, it was Craig, Mike Henderson, and Chris who left because he's got to get up, stupid early or whatever, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, what's going on, everybody? Mike Henderson, look, man, I don't want your luck, bro. Don't rub it over this way. I'm just saying. Because that guy's on fire in not a good way right this moment. Love you, man. Yeah. Damn. Sean, Brian, Jess, what's going on? Jenny's going to pop in later at some point. She had some stuff she wanted to talk about that she was excited about. I have no idea what it is. completely clueless. So we'll see what happens. Sean, you stop it. You know you want to see me with no pants on. Just
Oh, for crying out loud.
he said it.
So, Charlie, do you ever run across these things on Facebook that just make you go,
Every day.
what is wrong with people?
Every day.
So there's this dude. Here, I'm going to quote it, and I'm going to tell you what the picture is. Okay. This being advertised as competitive pay is actually crazy. In today's economy, $16 to $18.50 an hour barely covers rent, gas, food, and bills, especially in states where this place operates with high living costs. People are working fast-paced, high-stress shifts on their feet all day, dealing with rushes and customers, yet this wage still keeps workers one emergency away from falling behind. It's for
an
In-N-Out,
isn't it?
In-N-Out burger.
Oh, okay.
In-N-Out burger.
Yeah. Bro,
I don't know. The last time maybe I'm just getting old, but I don't look at In-N-Out burger as a career option.
Maybe if you're gonna learn the franchise and be a franchisee or something like that, or
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go into the business,
want to learn how to run a restaurant.
What's
No,
wrong
bro.
with people?
He's
They
the
really
guy that
think
puts
that
the potato in the machine and
there, you look at the labor statistics, and there's plenty of jobs out there.
yeah.
Why do people think that burger flipping needs to be a quote living wage unquote?
Remember when it was just a starter job, Jeff?
Yeah,
Something you did during the summer. Maybe afternoons after school for a couple hours, It was teaching you how to have a job.
right.
Put a couple bucks in your pocket. I don't know, man.
I mean, the people they try to hire live at their parents' house. They don't have rent. Chances are mommy and daddy are paying for their cell phone bill and everything.
You ain't wrong. I don't get it, man. We're just like a couple cranky old bastards these days, Jeff. We're just like, get off my lawn, you crazy kids. Arr!
I mean, here's something crazy for you. If you want to make more money, go do something that makes more money.
What? I thought I just had to moan and scream on Facebook.
Yeah, that works.
Because, Well, look how many people complain about their trucking business.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're, a trucking talks show, complain about the trucking business. You ask them, okay, so what's going on? Well, my dispatcher's screwing me. The company I'm contracted to is trying to screw me. The brokers are screwing me. The insurance company is screwing me. You never hear the real problem. I only work 2 days a week, and I want to take 2 weeks off.
Yep.
But I can't make enough to pay my bills and maintain my company. So, because all these people are screwing me over.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to do something. You got to take ownership of your life, of your business, your finances, your decision making, something. Good Lord. Grow the heck up, people. I'm just saying. My bad.
Yep.
Not my bad. You're bad. How's that?
And whatever you do, don't burn the bridge so that you can't find a terminal that'll take you.
Right? That was slick, Jeff. I like what you did there.
You like how I did that?
Total inside. Man, that was awesome.
Supposed to be forging relationships, not killing them.
Right? You want people saying, hey, I'd really like to get a hold of that guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's when I was at Swift, there was 2 Walmart DCs that if I was in their area and they needed help, they would call me.
Right?
and I'd work for him for a couple of weeks, and then you know how that goes on Surge.
Oh yeah, you'd stack up a bunch of money.
Yep.
And they'd be like, "Yep, we're done with you, bro. You're out. But thank you. We'll see you next time."
Yeah. Okay, Mike, you got us on that one. Although, I don't know, man. Did you really need to park in that spot? I've been stuck here since Friday, Charlie.
Yeah, that sucks. I drove right past them twice too. I was in a bit of a mind meld with my GPT. I was gonna stop and, like, go eat something or something. I don't know, and or just molest his tires. And then I was in this mind meld with Chat GPT on a subject I was doing some research on, and I drove right past it, like miles and miles, because I was having this little voice conversation. Dude, I love this voice thing with Chat GPT, because I just say what I'm thinking and it talks back to me, and we have a conversation back and forth, and we develop this crazy list of things that I would like to do or ways to implement ideas that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and it's getting better almost on a weekly basis at this point.
Right?
More functionality, more stuff.
Look at that. Brian Jeffs, I love my trucking business. Brokers will screw you, but if you keep a list of the good and the bad brokers, you eventually won't get screwed by them anymore. My carrier's amazing. I need to buy a trailer. Yep. Just saying, relationship building. You know what I mean? Ownership, taking ownership, not just of the business, the money side, but mental, moral ownership of your life. Is that a way to put it? I don't know if that's right or not, but
sure.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Validation. Look, words, they're not my friend. I had a nap. Not sure how much good it did me. Dropped the truck off at the shop, never heard back from him. Just saying. Maybe I'll call him tomorrow. Come to think of it, they never asked for my phone number either, so we'll see.
Should be in the system, shouldn't it?
Yeah, you would think so. But yet they ask for the phone number every time I go there, typically. There's a new dude there.
Is there?
And, well, a dude that I'm not used to seeing. Hey, Dad, Jenny. And he's like, well, what do you want done, bro? I'm like, everything I'm supposed to have done by my contract for 50,000 miles. What's that? So, like, filters, and I'm like, bro, it's in your system. You have a copy of a contract over there in the file cabinet somewhere. He couldn't find it. I'm waiting to see what the actual write-up is on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they were more concerned about being on their break time before their morning meeting, I guess. I don't know why you schedule people there for that time if you're going to be in meetings and break. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I was doing the right thing. My appointment was at 10. I showed up at 9 to be in line to drop it off so that it's in their possession before 10 o'clock, ready to go so they can pull it in at 10 o'clock, right? No, seemed like the whole shop was on break. And then as soon as they came off break, they had a daggone shop meeting.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the actual?
Phil Flarn-Flirth.
Yes. Good Lord. Here, let's throw Jenny up here. Here comes Jenny. Well, hi, Jenny.
I'm not in the right place. I can't speak yet.
Oh, wait.
I go up there.
Get up on top of me. What? That is, stop it.
That's just not appropriate.
That you should not take it that way. Oh my gosh. Where's HR? HR.
Donna, Ida, where are my ladies at?
Somebody, Rosie. Oh, she's not here either. I totally supervised. Watch out. Just saying. How you doing, Jenny?
Good. How are you? How are you?
You know, I had this weird. Okay, this is way too much. I have a thing that, like, when my sinuses get bad, I have a crazy gag reflex. So my little dingle, my uvula, is very sensitive, which is why I can't drink or swallow pills with like a liquid. I have to hide it in food. Now I can swallow. I could swallow a chunk of
piece of
meat that
steak.
big. That was wrong. What I did there. Let's just forget that happened. I can swallow a chunk of meat like that, but I can't swallow a little pill because it hits my dingle dangle and I start gagging. Right. I had one of those sessions driving down the road. Oh, it's terrible. And I lack the physical ability to actually throw up. Can't do it. Doesn't work. Yeah, I know. This is way too much. Good Lord.
You're weird.
Yeah. Well, I had this crazy surgery about my stomach years back. And what they did is they took my esophagus like that. And they took because I wore out the flap with my crazy acid reflux. Gone. The whole flap was gone. Just melted away.
The whole flapper was gone.
Yeah. So they take my stomach and they bring it up over the end of the esophagus and sew it up like that. And that becomes the flap because the stomach is being the muscle and it squeezes around the end of the esophagus and it, opens and closes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
A bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Magic. But because
HIPAA
of that,
regulations, folks, don't share this with anyone else.
You're right. But because of that, I can't throw up.
That's terrible. It might
So
be good, but it might be terrible.
gagging and nothing.
Yeah.
So damn annoying.
I feel you.
I mean, granted, I hate throwing up. Always hated throwing up. It always freaked me out. Like, I can't breathe. Right? So
there's
I still
Ida May. Oh, I'm saved by Ida May.
Oh, see, there she is. Look, I'm telling you, like, legit, we're gonna have to put you and her on a show and Jeff and I will sit back and just watch.
I hear they were talking about us when I wasn't here. I don't know if you were here, but they were talking about us.
Oh yeah, she was there. She may not have been paying attention to me because sometimes she does that. She acts like she's paying attention to me, but she's not. It's a skill of hers.
Nice.
But I'm wise to it, so whatever.
That's nice. Just nod your head, say in all the right places.
Ooh, that sounds terrible. I forgot all about that. Mike had an esophageal transplant.
Oh,
can you imagine them replacing your entire esophagus
with somebody else's?
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be weird.
I got so many inappropriate jokes out of nowhere right there. Just flash.
Quick, what up?
Oh my God. Quick. Wow,
quick, like a bunny.
My bad. Oh man. So yeah, I don't even know where the hell we're going anymore. Jenny, you said you had stuff to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
I have stuff. I got to tell you guys what is going on with the world of brokers and carriers right now.
Okay.
So I have a large carrier, 350 truck carrier. Okay. Brings me a debt that they have, $85,000 owed to them from ITS Logistics.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I'm naming names. I don't even care.
Right.
So, and it's facts. I got all the evidence to back it up. So what happened was that their email got compromised. Somebody hacked into their email. Right. Okay. While they were in their email, they booked a load with ITS and they blocked all incoming transmissions from ITS to my carrier. So the carrier is blind to this. They don't know what's happened. Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, a couple of days after this, they find out in hindsight, but a couple of days later, they get a freight guard because their dispatcher, Sean, is rude. And they were trying to redirect him to a different email. Don't trust this carrier. Well, immediately when they got there, they call Sean. They're like, why are you rude? And where are you redirecting this? And then they were like, oh no, that's not us. Obviously our identity is compromised. So
right.
They immediately change their email address. change their password, change all their, redo their two-factor authentication, or I guess enable their two-factor authentication. And then they were like, phew, dodged a big one there. 2 days later, they get a call from ITS saying, when is this load going to deliver? They're like, Beavis? We don't have a load with you. And so ITS was like, yeah, you do. We got a load from Continental Tire. When is it going to deliver? And they were like, you don't have a load with you. So they find out that this truck that went and picked up these tires is registered to operating as Antonio Villa, doing business as Charley's Express. They have a copy of his driver's license. They have a picture of his truck. It clearly says Charley's Express. His driver's license says Antonio Villa. And every piece of the BOL and the subsequent claim that came from this, because the load wound up stolen.
Yeah.
The load winds up stolen. And so the subsequent claim and all of the BOL paperwork shows that the carrier of record is ITS Logistics. Now, it was bad enough if they're misrepresentation. That's a violation of 371.7, holding themselves out to be a carrier on any kind of paperwork.
Right.
So that's a violation right there. In addition to that, they do have a carrier division that's also called ITS Logistics that is also in Sparks, Nevada. That has 54 trucks. So, meanwhile, my carrier client had been running dedicated loads for them on their USPS mail lane. So now ITS Logistics withholds 62 loads totaling $85,000 from my client,
Right.
who knew nothing about this, to cover the load that was stolen, that they didn't steal, claiming that there's an indemnity clause in their contract and a right to offset clause in the contract, which there is. However, the contract is not in play because my carrier didn't accept the tender. They didn't send a truck in. They didn't pick up the freight. They didn't deliver. Nothing. So there's no contractual obligation between those two parties on this load. So that means there's no offset trigger and no indemnification.
Right.
So I was filed on the surety bonds. Both surety bonds deny it because ITS said so.
That makes sense.
I said, well, if the broker just has to deny the claim or dispute the claim, then why doesn't every broker dispute the claim and the bonds are worthless? Why do we even have bonds?
Right.
So they said, well, and you have to get a judge to adjudicate it and say that we can pay it. If every carrier had to go to a judge to get paid for their loads, where would we be at?
Yeah, isn't
So
that
I've
kind of
now-
the process in the middle?
Does that?
Isn't that the process that's supposed to happen in the middle?
Right. You're supposed to
before
go to the
you
bond.
go to court?
Right, but you shouldn't have to go to court. You should
Right.
the bond should be able to say, no, there's no contractual obligation here, and we're paying them.
Right.
So I sent over the FBI report. I sent over everything to show that they did an identity theft claim with the FBI, and yada, yada. Still denied it. Denied it a second time. So I have now filed complaints. Yes, listen up, folks. So this never happens to you. I filed complaints with the FMCSA, Office of Registration, Financial Responsibility, to investigate the surety bonds companies to see if they should be issuing surety bonds because of not payment or non-payment of surety bond PMC
Right.
bonds. So that will be the FMCSA has received that. They've acknowledged it and they are investigating it. So look up American General Insurance Group and look out a Merchants Bonding Company. You will be being investigated. And then I also filed a report with the FMCSA against ITS Logistics for misrepresentation, withholding of funds, hostage funds,
Right.
because of that. And I don't understand why I'm the only person to date, as it's been 8 months since this happened now, that has spoken to the imposter carrier, who is Charley's Express. ITS never spoke to them. I don't think the police ever spoke to them. My carrier never spoke to them. I'm the only party that spoke to him, talked to him. Okay. And guess what? That carrier was in business for 10 years. And after I asked him about this load, he went out of business.
What?
Wow.
Magic.
Do you believe in magic? I made somebody quit their authority.
Oh, look,
So-
he's on another authority now, right?
Oh, sure he is. There's 3 more
Probably
Antonio
2 more
Villas
deep
doing
at least.
business as whatever.
Right. He's
Within
probably
a-
doing business as Jeff's Express now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Might be doing it as Jennifer's Express. Who knows?
Oh, how funny would that be?
Right?
He's
I
like,
dare him.
I'm Jenny in a Bottle Express.
Oh my gosh. I'm JIB Express. Jenny in a bottle.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be, that would be like, a big you. I'm just saying. That's some crazy stuff I might
But
do. someday
I'm just
if I
trying
was
to
that guy.
understand why we're offsetting funds. Okay, so first of all, I just want everyone to know that it's not that they're not supposed to offset funds
Right.
that are not related to that load. Okay, they're not supposed to. Yes, I realize there's an offset clause in most broker carrier agreements, and that's what allows them around it. But when you guys sign these contracts that allow them to circumvent regulation, that's what happens.
Right.
Okay, so watch what you're doing. You do not have to sign those broker carrier agreements if you don't agree with them. You can ask them to redline it, or if they won't, then you can just say, well, we can't do business then. It's okay to say that.
Right.
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 So watch what you're doing. You do not have to sign those broker carrier agreements if you don't agree with them. You can ask them to redline it, or if they won't, then you can just say, well, we can't do business then. It's okay to say that. It's okay. You're allowed to say that. So
Look, I built a custom GPT that I feed at contracts now.
good.
People
Yep,
send me contracts from their different carriers and things like that, and I designed this GPT to be my super duper expert lawyer, not lawyer, advisor,
the advisor.
and DOT, FMCSA, CSA, super duper smart person,
Mhm.
right? And it now analyzes contracts for me from different carriers
Mm-hmm.
and tells me the good, the bad, what to avoid, what's geared towards the other person, what's geared towards me. You know, and let's just be real, none of them are geared towards me, right? Because they're writing the contracts. But it lets you see that and understand it in plain layman's terms. It breaks it down section by section for you so that the average person can understand what's going on.
Yep. I use Chat GPT to assist me. I have the paid version of it, not the free version. The paid version gets you a lot more in depth, but I don't rely on it solely because it can't be wrong. You have to research everything yourself as well. But sometimes it helps you write something more cohesive than what you're able to put together in the moment. So it gives you at least a baseline to start with, and then you can tweak it to what you want it to really say. And so I've written, so you guys are hearing it here first. Outside of my circle, nobody's heard of it. I have written an article for Freight Waves that'll be published next week. Even got my name in it. I made it include myself since I was writing it.
Right.
I tried to get Alex Lockey from Overdrive to get it, and he was supposed to call me today. He didn't do it, so I did it myself.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's going to be coming out, and I'm not going to stand for this. I've been advised to write a complaint to the FMCSA on top of the NCCDB complaint that I did. And that way I can include the attorney for ITS as well as the surety bond company so they can see what I'm doing to them.
Document.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't care if they know. I don't care. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to get people paid for the people that did the right thing. And this broker is wrong in this case. If my carrier was wrong, I would tell my carrier they're wrong. I have no problem telling them that. But in this case, this was the two parties that had an opportunity to stop and mitigate this was the broker, whose job it is to arrange for transportation. And in arranging for the transportation, they are to make sure that they know who they are doing business with.
Right.
If I do business with Charley's brokerage today, and then I do business with them again next week, I still have to make sure that the person I'm speaking to is Charley and not Jeff. Because you know, and so they hold carriers' feet to that fire. I will also say that when a broker's identity is stolen and a broker posts on the load board, we don't hold that broker's feet to the fire. We say they're a victim, just like the final mile carrier that took the load and didn't get paid. But now that shoes on the other foot, we're going to take the one party that had no idea this was going on and was blind to it and say that they owe the money.
Right.
And then you have the shipper who loaded the incorrect truck because even if they didn't load, even if it didn't say Illyrian on the paperwork, it's my client, it said ITS Logistics on there. That truck did not say ITS Logistics.
Man, you know, I don't know if our insurance carrier handles bonds and things like that, but it seems like some of these bonds out there are shady as all get out.
Yeah, I have one for Freight Swift. Freight Swift is that BMC bond. Nobody can get a hold of anybody on it. And I actually think it might actually fall under merchant's bonding. So I have some contacts there now that I've, exploded this up and everything. And I'm
wonder,
sure they're gonna love to hear from me.
I'm sure there's some like legitimate companies out there that have signed up for these bonds for whatever reason, right? Because you have to have them, but are just unaware of how crappy those bonds are. You know, I want to believe that the carriers and the brokers don't know they're dealing with such a shady bond provider.
Sure. That's what you want to believe.
Well, I try to find the good, right? And
you can't Pollyanna this one up, buddy.
I know, but gosh, I don't know. It's crazy.
It's talking to me.
Denny, I'm now 100% invested in those claims. You need to get on here once a month to spill the tea.
I have another one if you're ready for that one.
Go for it.
We got another one. This is a good one. Client calls me up the other day. Says, Jenny, we have an unpaid load. He says, well, because I think we have fraudulent paperwork. I think we're under a double brokered load. I said, send me the paperwork. So he sends me in a text message the BOL. I said, can I get the rate count? He goes, that is the rate count. I said, no, it's not. This is a BOL all day long. He's like, oh, hang on. He says, my boss got them out of a text message. For anybody out there listening, we don't take loads from WhatsApp, Telegram, text messages. That's a surefire
Right.
way to not get paid.
For real.
Okay, just letting you know right now. So, so he says my boss got him from a text chain. And I said okay, and he says let me send it to you. So it says deliver. It has a whole list of pickup numbers. I'll even show you on the screen. There's a whole list of pickup numbers that says what the pickup number is for each location, and
Right.
that you need to deliver these into Yuma, Arizona. Does anybody know where Yuma, Arizona is at?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Here's the list. Oh, okay, let me find my.
No.
No,
No,
not
you
yet.
disappeared. You're you alien technology
Hang
person.
on, I got this. I got this. One moment, please. Un momento, por favor. Let me do this.
Oh man.
Okay, now I got to try to get this where you don't have a glare. Hang on. Nope, we're not going to get it, am I?
Nope.
Nope, you're not going to get it without a glare.
Good luck.
Anyways, I'll tell you what. I'll screenshot it and send it to you, Charlie, and you can put it up. I'll send it to you, and you can put it up. Copy this, and we'll go put it on Charlie's. Hang on, give me 1 minute. So anyway, so he sends me this text message, and I said, all right. And I get looking at it, and I was like, oh, hell no. Like, what are you guys doing? I said, well, are you kidding me? This is the text message, Charlie. You can put that up there. Well, so I look at the text message, and so I start calling U.S. Foods, who is the receiver on this particular BOL that I have in front of me. And so I tell you what, it's 4:15 on a Friday. Last Friday, I'm trying to call everybody I can under U.S. Foods for literally 2 hours. I'm calling 40 people, 40 different numbers between U.S. Foods, Grimway Farms, where it's shipped from, and AmeriFresh. Can't get anybody on the phone. The people I get on the phone have no give a damn about them, no sense of urgency. They have no idea who books a truck. They don't know who to get me to. You need to get to the salesperson. Oh, the salesperson is conveniently on vacation in where? Mexico. Guess where Yuma's at? On the border of Mexico.
Right.
I don't really think she's there having anything to do with it. I'm just saying it's coincidental. But so anyways, this load of carrots, I get looking a little deeper, and the BOL for this is there's 17 or 20 I can't remember BOLs in this one pack. Yeah. Every load is about 1,000 pounds, and there's one for Tampa, Florida, one for Boca Raton, Florida, one for Louisiana, one for Memphis, Tennessee, one for Jackson, Mississippi, one for all over the place, and they're not close. And every single one of them have a delivery date of 12/10 at 2:44 a.m. to 3 a.m. So how are they supposed to Houdini themselves to be in 20 places at once, delivering these loads? And so then my client goes on to tell me, yeah, there's about 20 drivers out here that have 4 to 5 loads apiece that we haven't got paid for any of them.
And this rate is garbage.
And I said, excuse me? He says, yeah. So you're talking about, let's see, if we have 20 drivers out there with 5 loads apiece, that's 100 drivers, 100 loads, okay, that are not getting paid right now. And every single load is delivering to Yuma, Arizona. I said, well, I didn't realize that's where his truck was at the time. I said, where's your truck sitting at right now? He says, it's at the receiver. I guess I'm going to send him back to Bakersfield. I said, you're in Tampa? He goes, no, I'm in Yuma. I said, why are you in Yuma? This delivers in Tampa. He says, no, it doesn't. I said, sure it does. He goes, hang on a minute. He goes, oh my God, Jenny. I said, yes. I said, why are they taking these loads anyways? I said, because they're not ELP compliant. And he said, yes. So now we have non-ELP compliant drivers that are scared to use regular brokers.
Non-ELP.
Not English language proficient. They don't speak English. No habla inglés. Okay. So, I mean, they might be Mexican. They might Uzbekistanian. They may be Armenian. I don't know. But whatever they are, they don't speak English. Right. And so they don't speak. They speak no English. And so they wind up taking these loads from an illegitimate source because they're afraid a regular broker is going to turn them in, call the authorities on them and say they're trying to get this load. You need to go and wait for them. And that just because you don't speak English does not mean you're not legal. You can be legal and not speak English. So if you're here legally and you can't speak English, well, the worst you're going to get is an out of service. So give it some time and you get back driving again. But at the same time, there may be some that are not legal and they may be worried about ICE coming too. So they're taking these loads off these text message chains, WhatsApp, Telegram, because those are encrypted end to end. They can't trace the origins, and they're hauling these loads. Now here's the bad part. They haven't gotten paid for any of them. The broker that's giving them the loads has been unauthorized since November the 3rd.
Wow.
Which means they have no bond. And even if they had a bond, this is an exempt commodity because produce is an exempt commodity. So they wouldn't get paid for it anyway. And furthermore, you didn't deliver it to the correct location, so there's no recourse back to the shipper and consignee to get them to pay because you didn't follow the BOL.
My head hurts now.
So the thing you sent me, the way I'm reading this, just so you know, is 20 pickup numbers from
Right.
Grimway at all of those cities
Uh-huh.
that are insane.
Yep. Mhm.
25 pallets with the bill numbers attached to them, delivering in Yuma
Yes.
at $1,300.
Yes.
What?
Dude,
Look,
Dude.
these are the pickup numbers, the loads. That's not the city they're picking up in. That's the city they're destined for.
oh,
I know that those are the pickup numbers, but they're the city they're destined for because I know because there's Boca Raton, Jackson, there's Memphis. They're the same ones from my off the
gotcha.
BLs I
Okay.
had. But that is the Grimway pickup number for this load going to Indianapolis, New Orleans, Detroit, whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
But all
Yeah,
of these
thanks
loads
for
were on
calling me
one
out.
truck, all with the same delivery date and time.
Wow. It's legit right there.
So too legit to quit, right?
You all right?
I'm too
$1,300,
legit-
Jeff.
Too legit to quit.
Wow.
So
20
they were
locations.
coming out of Bakersfield, California, which I think Grimway's up there by Bakersfield, and going to Yuma for $1,300. These are all the pickup numbers. And they're not getting paid for any of the loads. And this is what
my
all the
God.
loads look like.
Wow.
So stop taking loads from non-reputable sources.
I don't even know why they would take it with that rate. I mean, that alone by itself, right?
Well, I don't know how far it is to Bakersfield to Yuma, but
Yeah, but it's still 25 pallets, all those crazy locations.
1,000 pounds a piece, though.
You know. Mm-mm. I make more than that at Swift on my contract.
So, I mean, I guess they were. Shh! Don't tell everybody. They'll be over there getting your job, Charlie.
Yeah,
Damn
they
company
can
driver.
they can come get it. I don't want to put up with them. Just saying.
But
Oh,
anyways, this is the stuff that I put up with. This is the stuff I investigate every day.
Right. That is crazy.
Well, I really don't think it's the drivers that are doing anything with the carrots, but it makes you wonder. There's one of two things might be happening here. Okay, we have a couple scenarios. Let's go through the scenarios. The broker. Maybe the broker just went out of business and they didn't tell anybody, and those shippers are still getting them loads and they haven't realized that they're not authorized, and so they have to get trucks to haul the loads. But they're having the loads hauled into Yuma and then going to put them on their own trucks and send them out so they can pay their trucks and not other people's trucks. I'm sure that makes perfect sense.
wow.
Or perhaps we're putting this stuff into a warehouse because who wants a load of carrots? Nobody. Who looks in a load of carrots? Nobody. What goes in a load of carrots? Fentanyl, AR-15s. I mean, whatever. It kind of goes together.
Ooh, I need a new
Peas
AR.
and carrots. It goes with peas and carrots. Peas and carrots, AR carrots. It's kind of the same.
Jenny,
Or
they're like peas and carrots.
so I don't know if it's the fent that's come in that we're putting into the carrots and we're disseminating it to these cities, or are we putting the carrots in the warehouse and then we're going to put all the ARs in with the carrots and hustle it over the border so the ARs are in Mexico?
Can I shoot carrots out of my AR?
Probably.
Huh.
We should investigate that. Are baby carrots about roughly the same size as an AR bullet? Can I shoot them?
The right baby carrot would fit out of my 308, I think. I'm just never mind. Oh,
I understand, Jess, but this is like an owner operator went and got him himself off the WhatsApp.
So
Wow.
Charlie, that's only 381 miles. So 1,300 miles is actually 341 a mile.
Yeah, $1,300.
I don't know, dude.
It's 341 a mile.
Was it all one pickup and one delivery?
This load is one pickup and all delivered into Yuma, but it was destined for 20 different cities.
Oh,
So it should have
okay.
been 20 different loads.
Okay.
Because
okay,
you can't be in every one of those cities on the 10th at 2:45 a.m. for every single delivery if they're all on the same truck.
Okay, babe.
And
Right.
so that's what's going on in the West.
Okay. Yeah.
I have one more if you're ready for the third one. It gets better in a second.
God.
So I was sitting at the bar the other day, and I was wild drinking. I was drinking my Diet Pepsi because that's all I don't drink. So, but I have to get.
Two lawyers and horse walking.
Look, I'm in this like 9x9 cell all day long. So sometimes I have to have a change of scenery,
Right.
So I found this nice dive bar around the corner with a little bit older crowd, not the drink till you puke kind of crowd. And I was over there, and then this lady comes in, and she's sitting. There's quite a few women in there too. So she comes in there, she sits on the bar, she's got her head in her hands, and I was like, Brenda, what's going on? She says, Jennifer, she says, I don't think I'm ever going to get my stuff back. These movers moved my stuff, and they're not wanting to bring it back. They want all this money now. And I was like, well, tell me about it. I kind of do this stuff for a living,
God.
Here we go. This is my pro bono case right now.
Yeah.
This is my charity.
Aren't you glad
case.
you're not a proctologist? Just saying.
Anyway, so she's telling me she got online. Okay, she's an older lady. She's like 70, and she lost her husband in February, and she lost her son in September. I told her they'll turn up. It's okay, but she didn't believe me, and so, but no, bless her heart, she was under quite a bit of emotional duress. At the time. Her son was in the hospital dying at that time. So she has to move from her home because she can't afford to stay there now that her husband has passed. And she has to pack up her whole house of belongings and have it moved. And her house that she's moving to isn't move-in ready. The move itself was from point A to point B was 14 miles. That's a 14 miles intrastate. And they were supposed to put her belongings in storage locally till she was ready for it. And then they were going to come get her belongings out of storage and deliver them.
Right.
So she says, I got online. I looked for a good reputable company. I found an LLC. That means they're good company, right? I said, no, baby. Unfortunately, that does not mean that. I said, just because it says LLC after their name does not mean we're a good company. Unfortunately. So she's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? She's like, my husband's mother-in-law's belongings in it. I'm never going to see him again. And I said, well, tell me what happened. She says, well, they came and they loaded up my stuff. She says, they charged me all this money for it. She goes, they didn't take half the stuff. I had to get a storage unit here to put the rest of the stuff in that they didn't take, that they were supposed to take. So I was like, well, let me see your contract. Because I'm like, I'm not even going to talk to this lady for contract. She's like, they're asking for $3,000 in storage, which is $1,000 a month. And they never told me about any payment for storage.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, well, let me see the contract. So she gives me the BOL. And the BOL has a list of all the stuff that they took, supposedly. And then it says, this is the check they accepted at pickup. This is the total due. The remaining balance is $24.26. They're asking for $54.26. $1,000 a month for the last 3 months of storage. She says now they told me that they understood what I was going through, that they felt badly for me, and that they would take care of me, that I didn't have to worry about it. She said, and every month I talked to them and I had to ask them, am I still good? And they would call me and say, are you ready for this? She said, well, am I still good? And they say, yeah. And she said, well, do I have any? Is it going to cost me more? Because if it's going to cost any more, I got to go ahead and get it because I can't afford any more than what I have contracted with. So and they were like, nope, you're good. Go. We got you. We understand your, duress and all that you've gone through. And we're taking care of you. We are taking care of you. She said, okay, thank you so much. So on December 4th, they send her an invoice for $5,400. And she's like, I'm on disability. I can't even afford that. I don't have that much money. So she's like, I don't know what to do. So I said, let me look into this a little bit further. So I called the carrier and I said, I need a copy of your tariff. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know, if you are a truck that has a tariff and is required by the federal government, like household goods, to have a tariff, when you're asked for the tariff, you must immediately produce it. Not in 5 minutes, not in 5 days, not in a week. This immediately. He says, you'll have to get with the broker. They've got all my information. I said, the broker? He says, yes, the broker. And he sends me the estimate from the broker, Safe Ship Moving Services, out of Florida. This carrier is domiciled in New Jersey, by the way, doing an intrastate Ohio load. Right. Okay, Ohio moving loads that origin in Ohio are governed by PUCO and the intrastate, not in the Attorney General, not the federal government. So that's how it should have been. But they didn't give her an Ohio carrier; they gave her a New Jersey carrier. This carrier took her goods and took her household goods to New Jersey.
The hell?
And that is illegal. Now, in order for you to remove goods from the state, you have to have an SIT authorization, that storage in transit authorization. It's a written form that says starting this day, ending this day, in this facility for this long, and it'll be delivered on this day. They have nothing. On the broker's estimate, it does say it does say that storage would be free for 1 month and it would be stored at 50 cents per cubic foot for each month after. However, on the BOL, it says nothing anywhere and the storage line is blank. And you're supposed to attach the most updated copy of the estimate to the BOL when you have a household good move. And they did not do that either. So she's like, I didn't know I was dealing with two different companies. I thought who I called was who was moving my stuff. She had no idea she had contacted a broker. She didn't know how brokers worked. She didn't understand that there were two different companies. Now, in Ohio, the PUCO, the Public Utilities Commission, whatever, they are very protective of the elderly and those that are what they consider a highly susceptible consumer. And that is somebody that is older in age that may not understand the decision they're making,
Right.
or may like her that's under emotional duress or extremely sick. So in those circumstances, they allow for they command that those services that are done in their state take extra care with those people and educate them on what's happening.
Right.
They were not, when you have a household good move, they're supposed to give you two booklets. One is called Know Your Move, and I don't remember what the other one's called, but it's two pamphlets they're supposed to give you.
Right,
By
right.
law, they have to give those to you. She didn't get those.
Good Lord.
They charged her $350 for $250 for her riding lawnmower and $100 for her treadmill, which they did not take, either one of those. And I started going through the list of the estimate with the BOL, and there was like Christmas trees, vacuum cleaner, freezer, a desk, a chair, stuff they didn't take that she had to get a storage facility here and pay for storage to put her stuff in.
Right.
And they now want $7,000 to return her stuff.
What?
You can't charge for it if it's not your tariff. So they finally give me a copy of their tariff. Guess what? It doesn't even have their name on it. It's not even their tariff. And FMCSA says, well, we govern this load because it's an interstate load. I said, how is it an interstate load? The product is going from Danville, Ohio to Mount Vernon, Ohio, 14 miles. Right. How are we? She says, yeah, but the carrier took her belongings to New Jersey. I said, well, the carrier made it that, not her origin and destination designation.
Yeah.
I said, so it should have been an Ohio intrastate move. She says, yeah, but they took their stuff to New Jersey, but they didn't have authorization to do so.
Yeah.
And they can't charge her for it if it's not in their tariff. And they don't even have a tariff that's theirs.
Right.
She says, well, there was a ruling last year that took a lot of our teeth out of this fight. She goes, so we don't have a lot of command over this anymore.
Oh, Lord.
So the household goods side that used to be highly regulated, that people could actually count on, is no longer highly regulated. And screw you and everybody looks like you. So you know.
That's not good.
Huh.
Those are my stories. Those are my three stooges for the week.
Oh my God. That's.
Are y'all exhausted yet? Because I am just damn tired. I want you to know.
Right?
I'm just tired listening to it, man.
Now get on the phone and argue with everybody about this stuff. Attorneys bullying you, telling you that they're going to file suit against your client for declaratory relief because they want the judge to say the offset is legal.
Right.
Get your law degree out of a Cracker Jack box much?
Jeez. That's just insane, though. I mean, it's like I don't even know where to go with this because it's just so wrong, right?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. I mean, good God. Why would you move it from Ohio to New Jersey to start with?
Because that's where they're domiciled at. So then they said, well, yeah, they also told her that if she didn't pay them by Monday the 8th, that the storage company could start selling her goods at any time and she would never see her belongings ever again.
Oh my God.
And then they gave her an invoice on the Friday before that said that storage was through the 13th. So you started on the 8th giving this lady anxiety. And it's not even due to the 12th. They said, well, yeah, because we were trying to get it picked up by the 12th because that's when we have to pay the storage. And then we said, well, why did you take it to New Jersey anyways? And they said, well, we took it to our facility. Wait a minute. You just said you had to pay the storage on Friday. Now, which is it?
Right.
I can't make this shit up, guys. I really can't. Sorry. Stuff everywhere.
Up. That is insanity. Like, for reals. Like, I don't even know how to process it. You know what I mean? It's just, and they wonder why our industry has such shade thrown upon it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take many people to create that shade. That's the crazy part, right? I mean, you
And
can block out
it
the sun with
stands
one
to the
finger, right?
hourglass. These are the days of our lives.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The, my God. I don't even know how you do it. Like I would be just losing my ever loving mind what little there is of it. Victor, what's up, man? Yeah, for real. Shady ass brokers, shady ass trucking companies. We seem to be weeding some of them out lately, though.
Yep.
I don't think it's fast enough or enough. What? You know.
I don't even know. I mean, I just try to educate people the best I can by bringing it to people like you guys, by getting
Right.
on other podcasts and other, spaces on X and whatever to try to let people know, um, what's going on out there, so you guys can be aware of it and just be very mindful to double check the double check. I don't know what else to tell you guys.
Right.
Call
Yeah.
me if you need help, if you need help with due diligence, or if you need assistance in recovering something. I have two identical TQLOs with two different trucking companies that happened about almost a year apart. Both of these drivers went to warehouses to pick up. They wound up not getting all of the product on their truck, but the product they had on their truck is what was on their BOLs, because it's facilities where they scan the pallets as they go on the truck and then produce the BOLs. So it matched, but they didn't get all of the POs. Some POs were left
Right.
behind. So then TQL claimed them for $12,000 and $15,000 because they didn't have all the product. And I called up TQL. I said, well, why are you claiming them? They don't have the product. They said,
Right.
well, it's like if you go to the grocery store with a list and you don't get all the ingredients, you can't make the cake. And I said, but if I go to the grocery store and I forget the onions are still at the grocery store and they didn't charge me for them.
Right.
So can we not go back to the grocery store and inventory that and say, oh, right here it is? He said, well, the shipper doesn't have it. Okay, but if the shipper doesn't have it, then they scanned the pallet to go on another truck and they should have that scanned somewhere.
Right.
Can we not find the pallet?
Or they just gave it away.
Sure. Fire sale in the parking lot.
Right. I've made that thread at Target a couple times. I'm like, look, you guys don't have to take stuff. I'll go down to the truck stop and I'll have a steak sale for that meat pallet. Of course, I would never do that, but man, it sounds funny. Just saying.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. Hey, let's do our break real quick. We'll be right back. Give me 50 seconds, folks. I forgot to pee before the show, so I'm gonna go do that now. So it may just be
wash your hands, please.
No. I've got a whole take on that. Should we talk about that, Jeff?
Well, let's go to break first.
Okay, gosh. Be right back, y'all. Pay attention to this thing, please.
2 and 2.
You're either running your business like an owner or like an employee. And if you're stuck in that employee mindset, you're leaving money on the table. Company drivers wait for direction. Business owners create opportunities. Company drivers chase miles and just drive. Business owners chase profits and know their numbers. Want to run a real business? Start tracking your numbers. Know your cost per mile and start saying no to bad loads. Drop I run a business in the comments if you're done thinking like an employee. If you want to take this mindset shift further, join the Road Warrior Entrepreneurs community at www.rwedrive.com, where we have profit boosting strategies, coaching calls, and real road warriors winning together.
And there we go.
And now
Charley was not quick leaving, was he? I saw him up there halfway through that commercial. He needed to be
gone like a freight train.
running. Yeah.
No, I think he just wanted to see how we did flying solo. We don't need him. We're entertaining enough. So how you doing, Jeff?
I'm trying to get home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Which set me back for my week, but I got a stack that gets me home on Monday. So we'll see if the weather permits that.
Where are you from?
Utah.
Yeah, we just had 5 inches here in Ohio over the weekend, but it's starting to get away now. Looks like it's going to warm up for Christmas.
Hey now.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of mother truckers been reporting on the weather along the I-80 this week, and I'm really hoping that it's done by the time I get up there.
I hope so.
That would suck, Charlie. You get stuck in like Laramie for 3 days.
Right? Oh my God. Dude,
I saw a report out of Laramie. They had 14 blowovers in a 24-hour period in the Laramie district.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Oops. Clicking on buttons. My bad. That was cool. Oh. So yeah, I'm still stuck on all that stuff. It's gonna hurt my brain. And God, I feel bad for that lady. You know, it just.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how you do people like that. I just. Let me get my chair. Good Lord. I need to sit after that one. Oh. That one wore me out.
I know.
Let's fix my camera so I'm not Kilroy again.
Yeah.
How's that?
There you go.
There you are.
Dude, you see, look at this weird little pattern. I'm losing a spot right here, Jeff.
Huh.
I don't know what happened to that spot.
It's eroding.
Look at, like, it's legit. What the hell?
Well,
I
now you
gotta
just got to
just-
shave it straight across there.
Yeah, I just got to keep it shaved better. That's all there is to it now. Because that's going to be, dude, what if it goes straight back like this right here and I just had this little strip, wait, on this side?
That'd be
my
weird.
God. Right? And it's all off center and that will just mess with my brain because I like symmetry. You know, whatever.
You know, I didn't notice it till you pointed it out, though.
You're welcome. And now you can't miss it, right?
Right now we
No,
can't
I want you
unsee
to go
it.
shave
You're
your
just
head like
staring
right
at it
now.
like, what the hell, Charlie? Go shave your head, you big dummy. Perfectly imperfect. That's me. Oh. I don't even know what to do. Oh man, what the hell was I watching? Oh, Jenny,
What?
I that Jay Andrews. I was listening to him talk over on Narc's channel.
Jay Anderson. Mm-hmm.
Jay Anderson, thank you.
Yes.
I was close.
Yeah.
That I liked listening to that guy.
Yeah, James. Yeah.
I don't think I could have him over here per se.
Oh, he would not make the filter cut. Donna would reject him after 4
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah.
22 seconds.
But I enjoyed listening to him talk, and he's a smart dude.
He is smart. He used to be a Boise, Idaho sheriff, and he was MP, military police, and did some tours overseas.
Nice,
So-
nice. Yeah, he had said we'd spoken before at some time, and I don't remember. Dang it, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Do you remember? I remember.
You know, because he's like, wait, because I typed in the chat the other night. I'm like, oh, I like this guy. Who is this guy talking? And
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he'd be
Charlie,
like, I don't give a
one,
flip.
right? Yeah.
But
And I was like, oh man, he was fun to listen to. Like he is not wrong about a lot of things that
No,
I
he's
heard him
not.
say. And
No, he's
you know
not.
how it is out here. I mean, we try to be correct with what we say.
I'll tell you, he was the first paid member of Tanoa.
Nice.
And it happened accidentally. When Mike Boston was creating the NOAA website, and they brought it up in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. to test it. And right when they brought it up, he happened to Google, he didn't even know he was looking for Tanoa. He just happened to Google like organizations.
Right.
And it brought up the NOAA site. He logged in, signed up for it, and they had to shut the site down really quick because they were like, what the hell do we do? There's a payment coming in.
Oh
And
Lord.
And so they called Mike. They said, Mike, did you tell people we're doing this? He's like, no, why? They said, you already got a paid member. As soon as we put it up, somebody paid for it. It was Jay Anderson.
That's funny. Yeah, that train wreck of a place. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, we really need to have a conversation about that someday, Jenny.
We don't need to talk about it.
I want to know more. You know what I mean?
Inquiring minds want to know. I can't tell you where the bodies are buried.
I know, but you know what I mean? Because Jeff and I are constantly like laughing about the things that they do and
Yeah.
scratching our heads and then crying a little bit.
So I phrase it like this. I support a lot of their ideals because they do advocate for the small trucking companies. Okay. I appreciate that. But sometimes I feel like it's a little over the top.
Oh Lord.
Like a lot over the top.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that right there.
I like that you can't. I think they're a marketing nightmare for one, because they're trying to sell services and insurance and things like that, right?
Well, they actually don't sell the services. They have people like myself that really just contract with them. That like I do collections for a lot of their people because I was head of corporate debt collections and broker fraud prevention.
Right.
So, and then John Cantera came along, the double broker bounty hunter, and he took over the broker fraud prevention. And then he left, and then I left.
But they don't advertise it that way.
No.
They say we have insurance.
What they mean is
awesome
we have
insurance,
vetted these people. They are trusted partners of ours, and you can count on them.
and we're not going to tell you anything about the insurance unless you join our thing.
Right.
Right.
I think that's silly.
And they won't tell you anything about the loads or the job or the load boards or their carrier
board. Oh
services
my
or
God.
anything. No. And I don't honestly don't know what services they still have active and what they don't and what they're, because I'm not over there anymore very often.
Yeah, every time I look at their stuff, me and Jeff are just, well, I don't, so this is funny. I don't look at their stuff. Jeff looks at it. And Jeff gets, smacked on the junk every now and again over there because he'll say something and they don't like it when Jeff
Nobody
speaks.
asks you.
Yeah,
if you don't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Don't contradict them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
You're
Any
not allowed to have an
contradiction
opinion
whatsoever.
It's dictatorship.
Yeah. It's baffling. Me and Jeff, we go back and forth, and he's like, bro, you gotta hear this.
Right.
I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
But I will say, I always try to tell myself, because I truly believe it. Mike, even if Mike is not 100% spot on, it's not for lack of passion. He's very passionate about what he believes, and he believes he's doing it for the right reasons. So
That's fair. I don't know. We can fight about it. I mean, it'd be fun, but you know what I mean? We actually thought about building an association. I mean, it comes up in business conversations that Jeff and I are involved in all the time. Why don't you guys just start an association? Stop screwing around, because the way that you guys represent people, this would be a great thing. Right? And we're both like,
there's a lot. Look, I didn't realize how much effort it would be and how much there was to it. And I'm going to tell you, before I was involved with Noah, this is what Noah opened my eyes to. I never thought that I could be instrumental in change in the industry.
Right.
Okay, but I'm one of two instances that the FMCSA has granted for broker transparency.
Nice.
So, there's Pink Cheetah with TQL, and then there's the lesser talked about Jennifer with Uber. So, and I was granted transparency.
Cheetah chick is a damn train wreck. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, I have my own thoughts on that, but I'd rather not say it on an open podcast. So
that's fair.
I'll
say it. Bat crazy.
And James Lamb, he advocates for the truck drivers too. But I mean, people that have organizations are just, you guys would be perfect for an organization. They're just slightly off,
Yeah, it's just so much. Oh. The regulatory stuff is what honestly scares me, because we Jeff and I really work hard to be right in business standards, right?
Right.
And very correct in what we say when we're talking technical.
Right.
Right.
Because we need to be an authority in what we're saying. And if we're not, we need to put that right out there.
Mm-hmm.
What I've seen at NOAA is they speak as an authority and at times have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah.
But they say it with passion, and they mean well, and they're trying to advocate for the truckers.
Okay.
And I can appreciate that somebody is advocating.
Look, you can find any bright side you like. We ain't gonna get mad. but I think you understand.
This is
what
me
I'm
being
saying.
Switzerland. Okay?
Yes, and that is absolutely okay. I'm not trying to get you to say bad things. I'm not. I'm not the gotcha guys. You know what I mean? But I have a feeling about some things that go on there that, and again, I don't have firsthand because I get it from Jeff. But Jeff, I believe 100%. Anything Jeff tells me, 100%.
Oh, he's not lying to you. He saw it.
But you know what I mean? So Jeff is one of the few trusted sources in the world for anything that he says to me. 100%, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
What drives me nuts is how they shut down conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just shut them down.
How dare you say that in here? Bloop, you're done. Get out. I'm gonna kick you out.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love when Jeff. Oh, I got put on another 30-day ban or something.
Yeah.
Can't speak for 30 days again. I just watch it roll by now. That's all right. I've been on a few of those myself. I used to be an admin in there, and I'm not allowed to touch anything now.
I feel like I should join just so I can post our thing, just so they can deny everything that I
can't.
post.
You can't. No advertising.
I think it would be fun though. I'm just saying.
You'll never make it up.
They should love us. I mean, legitimately, they should love us. But
They probably do.
But we're not their people. And I would have funny words
for $125 for a quarter. You could be theirs too.
Right.
That's only like $1.40 a day.
Because 2 of them are the ones that tried to sue NARC, right?
No.
No?
That's past time for change.
I thought that was 2 of the people from over there, no?
Yeah, they originally were there, but they left there and they started their own organization, Past Time for a Change.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know they started a new thing.
Oh, they've been a thing for like 2 years.
I don't pay attention. You see me?
Yeah. Past Time for a Change. New trucking organization. Go check them out.
No.
And you too can be part of that fiasco.
Right?
That is a fiasco.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
That is a train wreck bigger than Noah could have ever created.
Those 2 were even more special than everything.
And they're business partners together.
That's
advocating.
It's like Jason and Tim.
Yes, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
You know?
And I'm sorry, I try to be in Switzerland, but in this case, I can't.
That's funny.
Can't.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to do.
Chris Bennett gets more double brokered loads and will deadhead 700 miles to get one.
Wow.
Just saying.
Makes sense.
Just saying. And every load he gets is double brokered pretty near.
Oh.
I was like, I don't know how you pick him, Chris.
Yeah, right. Sure, I'm just trying to catch up on chat.
Okay, I don't agree with broker transparency as a carrier. It's not one of my business what the broker makes. Yeah, if transparency was the other way, owner-operators would be upset if broker wanted to. Well, here's the thing.
I agree, though.
So they claim, this is the claim. The claim, like I see when transparency is necessary. You see in all my years of doing this, I've asked for transparency one time and it was granted because it was justifiable. However, 99% of the time, you're right. Like, and I never really understood it until I started hanging out in Sage's Discord. And Sage was like, look, I ship oversized, over-dimensional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The way I get my pricing is proprietary. The way I figure my pricing. If I let everybody in to know what my prices are and they're able to figure out what I'm doing, then I lose my edge against everybody else.
Exactly.
Right.
So I agree with that. We have a capitalist society. We're a free market. We can make as much as we want. There's no cap, and everybody should be entitled to that. However, I do have a problem when you have brokers that are out there on Reddit and Facebook or wherever bragging about the gongs, about them taking 60% out of a load and leaving carriers with $1.12 a mile or whatever, or less than $2 a mile or whatever. And you're bragging about it. Like, you can be happy you had big grips, but nobody likes a braggadocio.
No, and I get that. And you would think that, those people would just
they need to eat some humble pie.
Right. And you would think that, when people saw that, they would say, okay, I'm just not going to deal with that guy. Or I clearly underbid what I was willing, for that load, right?
So they're saying that the broker transparency, if you're given transparency, then you'll be better able to bid the next time. Well, that only tells everybody what the rate is. Well, you're not allowed to tell anybody what the rate is if you're given transparency. Okay, but what this is going to create is it's going to create carrier companies that are created for the express purpose of data mining.
Right.
You don't like it when brokers have access to your ELDs and know where all the trucks are so they can shift the market rates according to the capacity in the area. Yeah. Well, this is similar to that by allowing them to know what the rates are and being able, it's like cheating on the test.
Yeah.
It's no different than brokers having access to your ELDs and knowing where all the trucks are.
Yeah, I've never, from the start of the argument, I get that there needs to be transparency when things go wrong, right? From a legal stance. That I am 100%. Because
so my transparency instance was granted when a carrier had an idea that they may have a double brokered load. They told their driver, go get the load, pull down the street for the shipper a little ways, park, send me the paperwork. The paperwork had Uber all over it. So he called Uber. He sent them the rate con of the load he was hauling and said, this is what they're giving me for this. That rate con was rated at $88.50, and and Uber only paid That trucking company they hired, I think it was 6,000 or $7,000. I can't remember now. It's been a minute. But so if you get a rate con from another broker that's higher than that, they're obviously not intending to pay.
Right.
The carrier tried to return it to the shipper 3 times, and Uber begged him and said, "No, you're going to get paid. We promise you. They're good. They're a good company. They're going to pay." Whatever, creating him a false sense of security. And finally, he relented and sent his drivers
Right.
on the way. So then, when he didn't get paid, he called Uber because he got ghosted from Delta Dune, and then Uber ghosted him, and that was wrong. You sent him away with it. You told him he would get paid. Now you're going to pay for it. So I found it because then when I told them, they told their shipper and receiver, because we went after the shipper and receiver when they wouldn't pay. And so then they told the shipper and receiver, when the shipper and receiver said, "Are you guys going to take care of this one?" They said, "Yeah, we're going to pay it out this week. Don't worry." They didn't say at a reduced rate or anything.
Don't
So
worry.
we were waiting for the pay to come in, and they're like, they sent over a settlement offer for $6,000. I was like, oh, hell no. You knew what the rate was before that man moved his truck. So that's why I went for the transparency. And Uber told me, "We don't have a contract with your client. We don't have to give you transparency." And I said, the minute the final mile carrier takes possession of the load, they became a party to the transaction, and they're granted transparency. And FMCSA ruled with me on that. So in that case, I felt like transparency was warranted.
Oh yeah. I just don't think that the way some people are arguing for transparency, like, I need to know everything you have in the load, what you're getting, before I accept any terms with you, so that I can make sure I'm getting 92.37562% of, you know what I mean?
Yes,
The
I agree with
ridiculous
you.
side of it. And I think that that's garbage.
But I also think it's wrong for brokers to put legalese in their contracts that circumvent federal regulation.
Right.
Like illegally offsetting against loads that are unrelated, because it's against regulation. Regulation says you cannot offset loads that are not related. But because we put a clause in there that says we can. When brokers tell you you can't contact our shipper and receiver for any reason. Look, I understand that. That's covered by back solicitation. Okay. But you don't have to put a clause in there for that. You can say you can't back solicit our customers. But when you, the broker, go out of business or don't pay me, then I am allowed to recourse back to those other beneficial parties.
Right.
So that's just a way for you to not pay me and then get away with it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. And so I don't agree with you putting in there. Did you waive your right to 371.3? Because there's going to come a time when you have an instance like the Uber situation where you should be granted transparency. However, I know this is probably going to get out, and I'm probably going to eat crow over this, but Dakota did not get granted transparency because of something like that. She was in Florida. Everybody knows it's hard to get loads out of Florida that pay. She felt that she was under duress and was forced to take a rate less than what she should have had to take. She fought for transparency, but what the transparency revealed is that Uber kept 56%. I mean, that TQL kept 56% of that load. They could have given her more money to get out of Florida.
Right.
And it wouldn't have hurt them at all. They kept 56%. They said, "Oh, that's a one-off." Okay, so the very first time that transparency is granted, we just reached in the bag of 100 red marbles and one blue marble. We got the blue marble.
Right.
The first time? Sure. No, that's predatory. So that's, to me, that should be regulated. That predatory action of continuously taking more than 50% of the load, which leaves the rate less than operating costs.
But then doesn't that then in turn open the door the opposite way? Because there are people out there that are getting, carriers that are pulling, 70% of a load from a broker.
Well, if they're pulling those loads, they probably are getting those loads probably paying well enough that everybody's getting whatever they want. And it's not leaving them less than standardized operating costs. I mean, operating costs are like $240 a mile right now or something like that, according to the last ARI or whatever the thing is, AR, whatever it is. Anyways,
depends on your operation, I believe.
So it's like $240 a mile.
Is not anywhere near that.
So right, I know. Well, if your trucks are paid for, it's probably not that. But if you're paying for a truck and paying for a trailer, your insurance, your household bills, and all the maintenance and fuel, you may have $240 a mile for operating cost. or you need to run more miles, something. I don't know, but whatever. But I'm just saying that there should be. I mean, there shouldn't be a bottom line, because otherwise, if you say, well, you can't post loads for less than $240 a mile, everything's going to be $240 a mile. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be the bottom line. That's going to be the fallout. But when you're proven that you're taking 56% of a load, and that load was left being less than what standard operating cost would be, then I think that says something about that broker.
It does, but at the same time, I'm still going to argue that the carrier that took that load, that was their choice. They could have said no.
I know. I said that she could have sat there for another day or 2 or 6, or deadheaded out to a better area, or whatever. People have to do that all the time. But I also don't agree.
That in on your load into Florida.
I also don't agree with predatory brokers. That's predatory if you ask me, when you're taking 56% of the load.
Right. No, I get that. I just feel like, with the market being what
but without transparency, you wouldn't know that.
Okay.
And you can say no to cheap freight all you want all day long. But let's look at it realistically when it comes to this. You have drivers that are here from other countries. Countries like India, where $100 is like $1,000. Okay. Right. So these guys, they come here, they buy the raggediest trucks they are out there. They are held together with duct tape and dental floss. They ride down the road with their flip-flop out the window, watching Netflix on the dash. They're running over people. Now, not to say that white folks, black folks, American folks aren't running over folks, but I'm just saying it's been more commonly known recently, especially, that it's been more non-domiciled truck drivers. Okay.
Right.
I'll put it that way. So you have these people that come over there. They live in these trucks, literally live in the trucks. They do not have a residence. They live in the trucks 24/7 until that truck won't go anymore. Meanwhile, every bit of money that they're making, they're sending where? Back to India or Pakistan or Uzbekistan or wherever to strengthen their economy, their household, their people against who? Us, potentially. Right. I mean, they're obviously being more successful there because of the people they have here sending money back. And you can send that money back by the half of what you make every week, and that's like a month's salary for them.
Right.
Or more. Or it could be 6 months salary in some cases. So the amount the transitional rate between what we make here and what is valued over there is so drastically different that if they were spending it in our economy, it would be different. If they were spending it, but that's what's driving the rates down, because these people have no expenses here. They get paid a stipend by the government a lot of times to come here and get work visas. Okay. And then on top of that, they don't have any housing. They don't have any costs associated. They don't have a car. They don't have gas. They stay in their trucks. So they can take a cost of 99 cents a mile. And when they get paid at the end of the week and they get $700, that's still mega money to them over there. That's like $7,000 to them. So that you can say, don't take cheap rates all you want, but there's still going to be that factor right there of those people that are here, that don't have expenses, and that are sending their money out of this country, that are taking loans for 99 cents a mile, and the rates will not come up because of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep arguing the other side for fun because I enjoy the devil's advocate side. But if I can, no, you're good. You're good. I mean, I've argued this before. People say, "Oh, don't haul cheap freight," and I'm like, "Well, define cheap freight." Because what's cheap freight
for me might not be cheap freight for you, right? If our costs are different, but we're talking about dramatically different.
I mean, there was a time. I mean, I did numbers on a fictitious deadhead move from Florida to Seattle, and in my carrier system, in the Swift system, and I said, okay, they're going to pay me 85 cents a mile to drive from Florida to Seattle, 85 cents, and I was still able to show a profit on that because my expenses are not that high. It's not a great profit, right? But it was enough to keep the truck running, pay a couple of bills, and get me somewhere else. And if they then said, when I got to Seattle, hey, by the way, we got no freight there, deadhead back will pay you 85 cents a mile to run back down to Florida.
Can we get DJ's the next message from him up on the screen, please?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one? Or...
Yeah, that one.
That's absolutely true.
So, but do you notice that owner operators do not know their cost when they are failing? They blame everyone else. Why they are failing? But I agree, brokers shouldn't do anything against the law. So my thing here is there's no law that says a broker has to give a certain percentage. So they're not breaking any laws. It's more of an ethics thing, if you ask me. But also, you're absolutely 100% spot on about owner operators not knowing their costs. I have owner operators that don't know if they're owner operators or lease drivers. Okay. They say, I don't know if I'm a lease driver. I don't think I signed anything with them. And then that carrier company will produce a lease contract that they did, of course, sign. So, they don't know how to figure their costs. And this is why I say that the CDL farms that we have these days, when I got my CDL, we didn't have to go through school. My husband taught me in the gravel pit they were hauling in the wintertime, hauling the rock out of the ground to the wash plant, so that's where I learned to drive a truck. And and I was taught by him and his boss, and they're really good drivers and backers both. So but a lot of these CDL schools, when I was getting we used to have third-party testers. You could go to them and they would test you, and then they would sign off on your card, and you'd pay them $50 and you'd go on to the bureau and well, they found out in our state, Mississippi, that a lot of third-party testers weren't testing. They were just signing the card and sending them on their way. So then when that happened, they cut out all the third-party testers. So when I tested, I had to test with a DOT officer in my truck, and she was not nice. Okay. She was an ice queen. She sat over there with.
Yep.
But these CDL farms turn out these pieces of plastic that say people can drive a truck by the dozens. Okay. And they give them no other training to go with it. Okay. And I think that drivers these days need some kind of business schooling, 5 days in a classroom where we learn all kinds of things, like what kind of driver do you want to be? Do you want to be an owner operator, a lease driver, a company driver? What is the difference? What does it mean? How are you going to pay taxes at the end of the year when that comes up? How to spot a double brokered load? What to do when you get to a shipper and they say you don't have an appointment? What to do when you get to a receiver and you're sitting there for 16 hours? What's a layover? What's a detention? When does detention turn into layover? Stuff like that. The things that they need to know, that's the language that we speak out here that is Greek to everybody else in the world that they have no idea about. How do we do a BOC3? How do we do drug consortium? How do we do? I mean, all of these things need to be addressed. But people get a piece of plastic and I'm going to get a truck, and away I go. I'm a business owner now, and I have no idea about my business.
Right.
Yep.
But then it's everybody's fault but their own. Of course,
because they don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Period. Right. And so when you don't know about it and you have nobody to guide you because you're the rookie out here. It used to be that we came together as a community and we would educate the other drivers on the road. We would help each other out. And nowadays you see somebody out there, you just shoot right on. They're going to, because of hours of service, because our clock's already running. We don't have time to sit and talk about this. Got to go.
Right.
And we don't have CB radios anymore because we're all in our own world, in our little bubble in here now. And so now we don't talk. I mean, usually we talk about this stuff going down the road and whatever. But now there's no education out there.
Right.
And if I was, so I put it to somebody the other day. What if I was a school teacher and I said, "Man, I'm so sick of this classroom. I just want to get out and I want to travel. I'm going to be a truck driver." And I had no truck drivers in my family, but I could be a hell of a truck driver. And I went to truck driving school and I got a license. And then there was nobody to teach me this stuff. How would I know that it's not okay to park on the fuel pump and go take a shower?
Right.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 16 other pumps. They're okay, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So
no, I get that. I just think that if more of us took responsibility for our own situations to start with, saying and having enough self-awareness to say, I don't know how to run a business from any standpoint. I don't know this industry from anything. Let me seek out somebody to ask questions of, to mentor me, things like that. Look, for me, it was Kevin Rutherford.
Oh my God.
No, but I got you. But I wouldn't be in business today if it wasn't for him.
Well, if you believe all of the BS,
no. I'm smart enough to but I would not be here today if it wasn't for him, because a lot of the things, the core things that he taught were legitimate. And I mean, I had a business background before I came into trucking. I ran a private investigation firm for a little bit, so I knew how to work. Yeah, right.
Watching
it was
you.
GI's, investigative and protective services. Just saying. And so I had a basic business understanding, but a lot of it doesn't transfer correctly for trucking because of the business models we have to run in trucking, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and when I first started, I was just like, "Woo, let's go! Foot on the floor. I'm gonna do some things.
Let me tell you something else.
business owner."
Back in the day, if you didn't get paid by a broker, you know what would happen to that broker?
Huh.
Somebody would show up at their office when they were coming out the door, and they would handle the business.
Right?
And that broker would wind up paying people.
You're
We
right.
can't do that these days. It's
No,
not,
that-
there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah,
You can't
apparently
do
that's
that. You
bad.
can't handle things the old school way. Not that I'm
Mhm.
saying the old school way was correct, but it got business done.
Yeah, but sometimes if you hit a stupid person in the head, they become a little bit less stupid.
Sometimes they suddenly become smart. You knock the nut loose.
If
But
them or
But and I say that I understand there's a reason to not have broker transparency. I see both sides. What I say is I see both sides of the fence on that. I see
right,
reasons for it and reasons against it, and both sides are valid. But that's why it needs to be decided by FMCSA if you are granted transparency. If you have a valid reason, then the broker needs to unbutt their records.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a valid reason, then you need to shut up, sit down, and hold on.
right.
But a lot of times we don't get paid with our own doing. It's our own undoing. Why are we taking loads from text chains?
Right?
I mean, think about it, people. A lot of the problems that you have are your own making.
But again, that falls back on education, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, what you were saying about, I think that I don't argue that this should be part of the learning in the trucking schools. I also think that there should be some sort of, I don't want to say a federal requirement, but I think companies, carriers should step up and say, hey, we're going to bring you on as a contractor, a lease, whatever. We need you to go through this course before we're even thinking about signing that contract with you, so that you have a basic understanding and knowledge. Right.
I mean, I feel like that's every bit as important as the road signs and the road tests that you take. You figure out how to navigate the streets and the cities and where you can go with a truck and where you can't. You need to know how to navigate your business, because where you can go and where you can't, and where you're going to make money and where you can't. And some people can make it in a niche market. Some people have the ins and they know the people that go. If you're a cattle hauler, a lot of cattle, growers, cattle growers, and breeders. And if you might have the ability to do that. Or if you're hauling hay, you might know a lot, come where there's a lot of hay and know how to get it down there. Or if you're a reefer truck, you know about produce and stuff and claims that go with that and what you have to do to prevent a claim. I mean, some of these claims that I've seen on produce loads, $60,000 for a load of asparagus, or was it? I think it was asparagus. But I mean, that got frozen because they went through the mountains and I had a carrier the other day that his reefer ran perfectly well. His reefer download report looked fine. His reefer hauled several loads after it and has not had any subsequent problems. But the product he was hauling pulped warm at the dock, and it was above temperature along the way. Well, when looking at the load, it was stacked floor to ceiling to the vent, drop in the middle. What am I trying to say here? The vent chute that's up there, that puts the cold air all the way to the back. It was stacked floor to ceiling to that vent chute. And I'm saying, I asked Scotland, I said, where was the temp tail located in the load? And was it placed properly according to SOP? And what is the SOP for this? Because I don't know, because I've never hauled with a reefer before. So somebody needs to tell me, what is the standard operating procedure for where we put the temp tail? And where was that in this load? And did it get proper circulation? Because it might have been in the very back on that very last pallet, 4 boxes down, and not had any proper circulation. And that's why it pulped warm. And I said, how do I, as a carrier who carries reefer breakdown insurance, in addition to all the other insurance that I have, to help protect me when my load gets spoiled, and my reefer didn't alarm, and the load is sealed. So how do I know? How do I know it's not proper?
Right.
And Scotland agreed, and they split the damage with us and gave 50% of their money back because they couldn't answer all of that. I don't know how we do that. I said, because this carrier didn't do anything wrong. So why are you penalizing them?
Yeah. Brian just said, Jenny makes a valid argument concerning foreigners. That said, we are a capitalist society and can buy and sell goods, services as it works for the seller. Getting rid of capacity is a fix. I'm not arguing with that.
I agree.
Uh,
You also have to remember that we just came off of an abnormally high when COVID
Right.
ended. So
Yeah.
so prices went through the roof, which made everybody say, "I want to be a truck driver. They're making loads of
Right.
money. Let's go get
Look at
16
all
trucks."
of that. Yeah.
And they all went out and bought trucks, and then it went down off the
Yeah.
cliff. Okay, now the rates are back down in the basement. Well, they say they're in the basement, but I think they're back more aligned with what they were before COVID.
Exactly.
And
That's
so
Yeah.
we're actually back to the norms. Okay, this
Right.
isn't really. So it looks like an abnormally low because we just came off of this high that was way up here, and so that's why people are having a fit. But I mean, we're basically back to the norms, and now the capacity is shrinking. And so I say, when we come off of a high like that and we're coming into the low, when the industry inhales, it takes out the truck drivers, and when it exhales, it loosens the brokers out and
Right.
drops them off.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, and it's a natural resizing of the industry, and those of us that stick around and stick it out will be the ones that reap the benefits in the end. But you have to be able to weather that storm.
And DJ, if Jenny runs her business and turns a profit and mine is losing my shirt, whose fault is it? It's mine because I'm not running mine properly. And I agree with that argument as well. Again, it comes back to education, community, right? All those things that Jeff and I offer to people that,
Yep.
not a ton of people take advantage of, but that's fine. And even when they find themselves in that done lost their shirt and their shorts, they're still
Now
like,
they don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of.
and they're still like, no, it's everybody's fault but mine.
Yeah, and we see people all the time that make the same exact mistakes over and over
and over.
Oh.
I will say, I have a carrier
Okay.
company that's my client that I swear to goodness, they do everything they want, just how they want to do it, and then want me to clean up their messes.
Right.
Mhm.
They brought me loads and they said, Jennifer, we didn't get paid for these. And I looked up the broker. I said, this is a carrier company. Why are you taking loads from the carrier? He goes, can't we get paid from the shipper receiver? I said, no, you didn't take the loads from an authorized representative. You just willy-nilly are doing whatever the hell you want me to come in and wave a magic wand. And although I'm a genie in a bottle, I am not magic. Contrary to popular belief.
Yeah.
I can't be your savior.
The produce game has never changed in all the years that I've been driving ruthless business. Absolutely. Look, produce, I did not like that game because when I started, I started out with FFE 04. I did not like that game. You needed to run multiple logs. I hated that. The shipping and receiving sides of those are terrible. If you didn't know that you need to, everything coming out of the field, because I'm not a farmer then, right? I knew nothing about growing nothing.
Right.
You need to know that product coming straight out of the field into a box into your trailer is going to be super warm.
Mhm.
And not only that, but you're going to sit there for 8 or 16 hours while they load you, and there's no detention for the loads coming out of the field. I just had a carrier call me with that and said, look, we were held up for 18 hours in the field loading, and we get down the road and find out that we're overweight and we got to go back to the shipper, and now we got to go through this again. And I said, sorry, what's the rate con say? And he showed it to me. Said it says right there, no detention paid on loads coming out of the field. You signed a rate con, buddy. Now it's contractual.
DJ, you ain't wrong. You want to lose your ass in do a load of melons from Florida when they put it all on the floor. Oh my God. So I used to have one of our regular backhauls for Walmart out of McClinney was getting melons from a field location. It would go into their warehouse and we'd get it in the big totes, but it's literally coming. I mean, you can almost see them just rolling off the field on a belt into the box on your trailer, right? Holy hell. And then, Walmart being Walmart, luckily because it was a big carrier contract, it wasn't quite so bad. I'm sure there was stuff on the backside that I didn't see, but I had also seen it from the other side where they're like, oh, there's a blemish on this melon. There's a crack in this one. The temps are all screwed up. And it's all your fault, truck driver.
Yep.
I've seen them load eggs haphazardly, and then you go around a corner and the eggs all shift and half of them get broken, and then they got to go to a salvage yard and they go with 1 egg, 2
Right.
eggs, 3 eggs, 4. Okay, you have this many eggs left and this is how much you owe for. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Oh
Huh.
my God. You know, that's the way I was taught to drive, though, by the way, just throwing the egg thing in there. My first trainer, who was he was a great dude. Like he was a odd person, but 30 years back in 04 in the industry, never left his truck, giant man. Anyhow, he told me, look, he's like, you need to drive every load as if there is a single stack of crates of egg crates in the center of your trailer, not strapped, not shrink wrapped, nothing holding it there. The only thing keeping it there is your driving, and act
Yep.
accordingly. And when I had swinging beef loads, which were, oh my God, that's some scary stuff. I drove that way because that's the way I was taught. Nowadays, holy
He
hell.
drives like he stole it.
Okay. I'm just saying, I go like, vroom, vroom, and I'm like,
There's a lot more vehicles on the road today than when you learned to drive. There's a lot more not smart people on the road than when you learned to drive.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. When I was learning to drive, my mom told me that truck has a lot of weight behind it and it takes a lot of distance to stop. Okay, you can't just pull out in front of them and make them stop on a dime. That won't happen. My mom taught me that. And for those of us that had parents that taught us that, good for your parents. And I hope you're teaching your kids the same thing. But I'm telling you, driving a rock bucket, what I did, and hauling asphalt, coming down the road to the plant, and you've got cars at the side road over here, and they're
Right.
sitting there, and it's like God, I'm gonna race the truck. You know that commercial they had for UPS, let's race the truck. I feel like people are doing that. I can do that here, and then they turn out of the road and they take off right away. They're like, oh, good, they're gonna get on down the road. They go 100 yards down the road, and what do? Slam on the brakes and turn left. Oh, but there's oncoming traffic. They can't turn. Now we gotta wait.
I every single day. Well, Atlanta particularly special for that.
Yep.
You watch the car sitting on the side road waiting to turn out in front of you, right? And they'll let 15 cars go that have more space between them and that car, and then they see the big truck coming that's got half the distance, half the space, and that's
Zoom,
their
zoom.
point to go.
Yep. Zoom.
Oh my God. I had one do it to me the other day and it locked up my braking system. And I was anticipating them do this. And the brake system still beat me to it.
Wow.
And I was pissed. I was pissed. Luckily,
You got dinged for a hard stop.
No, I don't, because I don't have I don't have that kind of contract. They can pound sand, bro. But yeah, I was like, what the hell? Luckily, I wasn't loaded at that time. I was finally heading out of Atlanta, and I was just like, oh my God, how much freight could I have knocked over that day? Because the way our FTC loads freight is just a nightmare all by itself. So I mean, look, but I would have had the whole trailer laying down inside. I mean, it was that fast. And I was already covering the brake because I could see that. I swear I could see it. I was like bionic eyes looking at theirs, like this. I'm slowing down. I'm hovering over the brake, and bam! What the? The brake slam on. And I'm like, holy hell! Yeah. Oh my gosh! I just don't even know. Kenneth Bear. Hey, Slip. Hey, man. Quick question. Did you put in the zeros? Like Rosie said, just curious. Look, this is one of those I didn't know what I didn't know thing. He's using our fuel and maintenance app, and he got free DEF. He's like, well, how do I enter free DEF?
0.00.
Well, but it was one of those things, though. You know what I mean? And so Rosie gets on there. She's like, did you try 0.00? And he's like, oh, yeah.
I didn't know that because you don't know what you don't know.
But here's the funny thing is I actually don't know if it'll accept zeros.
I don't know. That's a good test right there. We don't know.
Because I haven't tried it either. I should actually.
Because nobody told the program that 0 is a valid number.
Right. I don't know that I did that. So
because you
I-
were coding for 3 days straight and had zombie eyes. You don't know what you put in there.
I did like 4 months. Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's one of the ways that Skippy stole Max Salt's ship, remember?
Right?
With taking Zero out of the program.
Exactly. So I actually I'm actually going to see if that works, and just because now I need to know the answer. Oh, good God. See what happens. Things trigger me. Squirrel?
Squirrel.
Yes, / app dot RWE drive dot com.
Give us password, guys. Listen when you take this password in.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Especially not on this account. I'm just saying.
Suddenly he got quiet.
All right. Let's see. Sign in. We're gonna do a fuel entry, add entry. Let's say diesel. Doesn't matter. Let's say def, since it was a def. Location, we're gonna say QT. I'm gonna skip city. I'm gonna say 5 gallons.
I don't know how he got free def, by the way.
I know that. Look, that
I mean, if you stole it, just say you stole it.
That was my
0,
question.
0.
Where were they giving that away on that day?
For real.
It says Denver Terminal.
Oh.
Everybody quick to the Denver terminal. Let's go. Let's go.
Huh. Let's see. It's doing
You ever
work.
try and get in and out of the Denver Terminal during a snowstorm, Charlie?
Oh my God. Dude, you should see that place right now. It's so much worse than it was before because of that homeless hotel place out there.
Homeless hotel place.
They're tented
Oh, I don't
along
even
the
know.
street now.
Oh, it's a community.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, a couple of years ago, they went through and cleaned that up, and it only took them like a couple months to come back.
Yeah, yeah.
And the cat came back.
I mean, they
the very
literally,
next day.
I don't know if you saw pictures of it, Charlie, but they literally had a front end loader to take care of the garbage
Yep.
that was on that street.
Odometer 2200. Okay, let me go back and finish.
Well, I'm sure they're not offered garbage services.
Yeah. Oh
Maybe
my
if the
God.
city would offer to pick up their garbage, they would put it out for them.
Right. So let's
That's
see.
always an option.
5 gallons. Odometer 22,000.
Quit making up
100.
numbers. Cheater.
Oh wait, that didn't work. I put in the wrong. Let's see. Good God. You know, it doesn't even matter. Why do I care? Just put it in there. 47, 4,100 miles driven. That's funny. Add entry. Yeah, I took it. So it works, Kenneth. You can just put in zeros, man. It'll do weird things, but when you're looking at it, but yeah, it doesn't show a cost per mile on that one specific, but I believe that in the total accounting, in fact, I know in the total accounting, it's going to factor into that accounting and lower your cost per mile on it. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Free. So yeah, yeah, it works. Look at that. Oh my gosh, smart things.
I don't know who that program was, but they did some good work there.
Yeah, that guy who didn't even know until he just tried it. Just saying.
Well, I'm not going to toot his horn, baby, because he'll get all excited. And
boop, boop. Bonk, bonk.
Aruga!
Yeah. Ryan just said last time I was at Swift Denver, it was tented and van life people all along the street in and out. Yeah. Oh my God. And they got the zombies hanging out.
The zombie apocalypse.
Oh my God. It's something else.
Bless their hearts.
Did you see my message about the miles driven on the app? No. Was it a text or was it in the group? Oh, tell me if you can. Tell me now. If it's not too much, or if you want me to just go find it, I'll do that.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the app, I'm like, I mean, because I tried breaking all kinds of stuff in it. You know what I mean? To make sure things were working.
You didn't think of what all these truck drivers think of.
Well, right. You know, I mean, I can't come up with every catastrophic thing. I try, and I'm pretty good at that, honestly. I don't see. don't see anything from you.
Look again.
I know, right?
You're looking like a man right now.
Looking like a man. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Huh. Tag me or something, man. I don't know. Lobster, stop it. DJ, you bastard.
Well, guys, it's been fun hanging out with you. I think I'm gonna hop off, and now that I've commandeered your whole show and took all your
Oh,
time.
you're good. I like listening to the stories, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And we learn parts of the business that we're not used to hearing about, to be honest,
Well, and that's
So
why I
appreciate
come
it.
on, because a lot of times, even with, I do more than just collect money for my clients. I do
Right.
reputation management with the freight guard removals, watchdog removals, things like that. And I also advise and advocate for them. I advocate by obviously sending letters to the FMCSA and whatever, and then also, advise them on how to be better business partners for their business partners, because you don't know what you don't know. So
Right.
Yeah.
I feel bad because every time I come on here, Jeff never says anything, and I feel like I take all his time up where he doesn't get to talk.
I'm good.
He doesn't mind. But Jenny, thank you so much. You're awesome. Holler whenever,
You holler whenever. You never
Yes,
call
ma'am.
me. You never send flowers, candy, balloons, chocolate. I mean, what the hell?
Want a cigar?
Sure, send me one.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, when I was in college, I worked at Taco Bell in the evening times, or when I wasn't in class, whatever. And when I worked at Taco Bell, we got done at the end of the night at 2 a.m. or whatever. We had 2 hours of cleanup to do. Taco Bell, it takes a lot to close that place down, apparently. So whenever we closed, they wouldn't let me go outside to smoke a cigarette. I was a smoker back then. I was vape now. It's not smoking. It's not real smoking anyway. They wouldn't let me go outside to smoke, but all the guys would dip. So I started dipping so I could have my nicotine too, and just fit in with the guys. If you're gonna do it, I can do it too. So
right.
Yep, I like Cherry Skull.
Kenneth.
Anyway.
No, you're good. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Have fun doing things.
All right.
Fighting people. All
right, y'all have a good night. Stay diligent. If you need help, give me a call. Charlie's got my information. He'll hook y'all up.
It's in the description of every show we do now.
Oh, yay. Yeah. Thank you.
I put you in our, what's it called? Essential something. I can't remember. I don't remember.
I'm going to hire Jenny and send a letter to Narca. That's funny.
You're like number 4 on the endorsed essentials.
All right. Well, send me your logo and I'll put you on my page.
Hey, now.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's hot.
All right.
What?
Y'all do good, okay? Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, free DEF is not worth going to that terminal. Right? I'm just saying.
Well, even in the summertime, that terminal was always just so jammed up.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Kenneth. Yeah, you and I need to chat, because I don't know why that would happen, because I have not noticed that, and I check it pretty regularly. I have an idea, but I'm not sure. I got to run some things past you on that and see what's actually happening. I'm thinking. Can you give me a call after the show? I think you have my number.
Huh.
Because I'm curious. It shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have to go in and edit it. Let me look at the one I just did. Oh, I deleted it. Dang it. I'm smart. Let's see. Let's pull up a lifetime. Man, my phone exploded. Hey, that's work, man. That was an important one. That was my dude Gary making sure I'm working, Ida. Look, that guy is like on it. He's like, "You working, bro?" Because sometimes they
No.
can be sketchy. Yeah. He's like, "You working Thursday, right?" Yep.
I only work 2 days and then I want 2 weeks off.
Right. Sorry, working on freight. My bad. Look, when business is there, handle business.
Yep.
Let's see. Where's my last death entry? Let me see if something weird happens here. The odometer was 18,000 for that one.
So what's your weather like down there right now, Charlie?
Chilly. Low 40s today. I was not amused by it at all.
Yeah, so I'm in Macon, right? And it's in the low 30s, upper 20s at night, and then like 50 during the day.
Yeah. I was not happy. I was standing in the Ocala terminal today just hanging out because there was no cool people that I wanted to talk to inside. Well, Gary was busy. Grant was working. Sue's not there. I don't really know other people inside you know what I mean? So I just bounced. I was sitting outside looking silly. But I was talking to you for most times, so that was cool. I was looking at all the Michelle Cantrell banners that are out there. That cracked me up. Odometer 18. We're gonna call it 19,000. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I when I just put it in right now, it's showing the proper miles driven, dude. Cool. Let's set some time for tomorrow if you can, Kenneth. Hit me up sometime. I'll be home all day as well. And maybe we can try and recreate it and see what exactly is happening. Because when I just ran it here, I put in my odometer 19,000 and it shows miles driven 1,000 without me touching it. And that's the accurate number because the last odometer was 18,000. Is it a date issue? Possibly. Sometimes it'll do weird things with the date. If the date is before your last one, even though the odometer there is some weirdness with the date problem. Something else. It was something that I was working on that'll be in part of the update as far as how it prioritizes date versus odometer readings, right? There's some logic I got to build into that. I had noticed a problem at one point where I put in the wrong date and it broke the brain for a minute. And so I kind of put it together a little bit better, but I think that there was still more that I could do for it. Anyhow, yeah. Right now, I put in and it seems right. Well, it is right. It doesn't seem right. It is absolutely 100%. You can also, if you need to, if you ever have a weird problem, you can manually enter in that miles driven if you know that it's different. I know it pre-populates it, but you can manually enter. You can override that if that's a thing. But I would like to know why it's coming up wrong and why you would need to override it. You shouldn't need to override it, but that is an option, and you can do that without actually going in to edit the fuel up afterwards. You can do that right in the entry form. So yeah, that sucks. Let me know, and I will get it. Whatever it is, I will get it sorted, man. I got stuff to do, and I'm happy to do that kind of stuff. Let me see if I got yours, Ken. I don't know. Sometimes I forget to say people's numbers. It's true. Nope. Clearly, I didn't save it either. Here, I'll send it to you right now on Facebook. So you got it. and just hit me up sometime tomorrow. Just remember on Eastern time, I'll probably be up all night tonight because that's what I do. So I won't be up before like 10 or 11 Eastern time tomorrow. Let's see. Where'd you go? Man, you were just there. What the heck? Oh, I'm silly. There you go. So yeah, let's do that. Let's set some time tomorrow, and we'll figure it out, man.
Nice.
Shoot me your number so that I can. Yeah, thank you. Perfect. You got it. That way I can actually, I'll be like, oh, I'm actually going to answer this call because I don't answer phone numbers that I don't know. Just saying. If you ever call me, because you got my number somehow and I don't answer, you should probably send me a text message. Say, hey, this is so and so, and I want to talk to you about such and such. That will get my attention and get you your phone call answered because I get a lot of phone calls from numbers I don't know, and half of them are, we'd like to talk to you about your car insurance.
I got a good scam one today offering me $100,000 for my business.
Nice.
I just needed to respond to the text.
Nice. What could go wrong?
Yeah. So this is a dumb one from Landline Media. New federal data shows trucking employment has fallen to its lowest level since 2021. What happened in 2020, 2021?
Right.
That was when the boom hit. It was mentioned before that we're back to normal levels now. DAT, who has the biggest data set on rate information,
Right.
They totally just scrapped 2020, 2021. They don't even use it in their statistical models because it was so out of whack. $180,000 miles on a pack car, huh?
Yeah, he's been doing well. We were texting a couple days ago, and he was filling me in on where he's at with it and things like that. And it's total over 500,000, and he's not having the Lego issue.
Huh.
Right? I don't know. I think you got lucky, Brian. I think I mean, yes, I know you actually take care of your equipment. A lot of our guys do, but even a lot of the guys that do take care of it still have the Lego issue. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also very proactive when it comes to maintenance or issues that are arising. A big difference, a far cry from what some people do. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He's wanting to know what's happening before it explodes. Oh man.
Tim got himself a meal, man.
Right? I was
Look
just
at that. Smothered turkey wings, mac and cheese, collard greens, black-eyed peas.
Sweet Georgia Browns. Where's that?
Probably in Georgia.
You better stop it. Look, TK is right down the road from you.
That always cracks me up, TK. Because, originally from Oregon, live in Utah now. I'm still in shorts down to about, Charley, probably 40 degrees. Yeah, guys walking around here with the sock hat and the frickin' parka, the whole 9 yards right now.
Yeah. Oh, look, I was at a store the other day. I mean, it was legitimately, it was like 24, 21, something like that up in Atlanta the other morning, right? But they are in like Antarctica clothes.
Yeah.
The full extended hood with the fur lining.
like the Kenny coat?
Yes. Thank you, Kenny. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it is hilarious, man. I'm like, and I'm getting out of my hoodie. Now, mind you, my hoodie's not warm enough for it. It's not warm enough for that because all I have is like a t-shirt on underneath. But if I have a smart, my problem is that I get back in the truck and then I start sweating if I put a long sleeve on. So whatever, cry me a river, noob, whatever. You know what I mean? Sweet Georgia Browns. Isn't that the place they did a video about 3 generations running it? Oh, It's in Dallas on Ledbetter Road, Tim said.
Yeah, did you see his picture that he showed on the group of his seatbelt?
No.
Yeah, his seatbelt bracket broke.
I'm going to have to look because that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I've never had that happen before.
Bro, look at the newest post when you get a chance in the group.
Okay.
Just saying.
Is it going to make me lose sleep?
It's going to make you shake your head so much. Did you see our thumbnail tonight, Jeff?
Maybe.
Liar. That's a no. Not a liar. You just didn't commit. Where is Tim? Oh, you know what I should do? I should just search for Tim. That would be smart. Because I'm curious to see what this we're talking about. Oh, that's interesting. So, it just like the weld broke off, huh? Is that what I'm seeing? I think.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. That's crazy looking. Never seen that either. At least it's still strapped to the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, it still works.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, I'm just going to say, dust off that damn fire extinguisher, sir. Come on, man.
Yeah, Craig, you ain't wrong. 3 ain't good. 3 ain't good, Charlie.
Oh, yes, right. Okay, so you guys looked at it. Yep. Oh, stop it. Just don't. How in the... Hey, Jeff, how many you got in your entire life?
1.
Thank you.
I have 1 service failure in my entire 20-year career.
What'd you think of it, Donna? You, of all people, I would love input from on that. Just saying.
So we're running short on time, Charlie, but that's something that Bear's talking about a little bit is choosing your loads to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for failure, man.
Right.
When I say I've only had 1 service failure, it's not that I've never been late somewhere. I have, but I've always communicated with the carrier. It's always been because of weather or something like that. Yeah. Don't get so excited and looking at those dollars and cents that you set yourself up for failure, dude. Do your pre-trip planning before you accept a load. Yeah. Make sure you can get it there on time.
Yeah, for real. Like, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. How many times have we seen it? Oh, I took this load and I knew I couldn't make it, but I didn't want to not get the load.
There'll be another load, dude.
Jeez. I can honestly, I don't have a service failure on my record. One of my drivers got one.
Yeah.
When we were working Cabela's back in the day. But it wasn't mine. It was his shift, and it was put on him because he decided not to wake up and go make the delivery that he was supposed to make. I ended up making the delivery because I woke up and I'm like, why aren't we over there, dude? Yeah, it was weird. But they absolutely put it on him and did not.
I remember that Frank guy. He had that team in one of his straight trucks, FedEx Custom Critical.
Oh, my God.
That blew a load like the 3rd week they were in. And FedEx told him, No, you can still have that lane, but you can't have those drivers in that lane. So we had to fire these people 3 weeks in.
Yeah, that was crazy. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. That it was almost completely AI done. And that kind of note there actually would give me a better prompt to write. So yes, thank you. All right, guys. I took us over time because I didn't even look at the clock. My bad. We will be wrapping this up. So you guys can shoot me a text in the morning whenever you're ready, and hopefully if I'm awake, I'll shoot you back and I'll let you know. We'll arrange time for tomorrow and figure out what that issue was. Anybody else, if you haven't already checked it out, you can still get a 14-day free trial on our Road Warrior Entrepreneur Fuel and Maintenance Tracker app that we've put so much time and effort into. Check it out. Don't even have to put in a credit card for your 14 days. Try it out. See if it's working for you. Actually, check your email. By the way, if you sign up for it, check your email, please. Look in the spam folder because it's coming from Gearbox at don'treply.rwdrive.com or something like that. Anyhow, so look in your spam or your trash and whatever, and make sure that the email is because you should get an email. But you got to make sure that it's kind of whitelisted in your email stuff. But yeah, so get that email and you'll be able to use the app with no problems and all that good stuff. Check it out. Like I said, you don't even have to hook up a credit card for the first 14 days. Just try it out. No strings, man. Try it out. See if it's helping you out a little bit. Help you keep tracking things a little bit better. Really takes less than a minute to put in a fuel up, to enter a fuel up entry. Words are not my friend. Anyhow, Jeff, what do you got, brother?
Hey, everybody, keep that rubber side down. And remember, with no action, there is no traction.
That's right. And you know what? Hey, look after each other, everybody. There's no one out here looking after us but us. We will see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I imagine, if you will, 19 degrees in Pensacola, Florida. They look ridiculous. Absolutely. That is a great note to go on. The post is gone. What? Craig, any word yet?
That tracks.
Before we go, what's the update, bro? Craig, yo. Then we'll let everybody go. You guys got to run. Yeah, do that, Brian. I think you'll dig it, man. It's really simple, and there's a lot more coming for that app later that even I believe you might dig where we're going to go in the very near future. Because, yeah, $2.99 a month. You know what I mean? Once you do, if you decide to keep it. And, yeah. Craig, yo. Update, sir. I'm pretty sure I read that Craig was at the hospital earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, we're about to push. Well, she is. I think you should push, bro. Congratulations, man. Shoot us a text later, Craig, as soon as it happens, bro. Seriously. I don't care what time it is. I don't care if she's at 3 a.m. Make it happen. We're excited. Yep. I'm excited. I like babies. I want more babies, but nobody will give me more babies. Anyhow, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Be safe. Take care of each other, and don't die.